Hey, what is going on, guys? Worst Trends here. There are quite a few interesting things to talk about in regards to the object show community, such as the shows, voting methods, list third option. Oh, I didn't finish the script. But one subject that's always been super interesting to me are the YouTubers. And by that I don't mean Jack and Jellify, Greeny, Sacri, none of the people who actually make the shows. I mean the people that watch the shows and then ruin their lives by talking about it on YouTube. You'd think that you could only talk about BFDI one way, but you'd be dead wrong. The OSC has so many unique channel styles, way more than most other communities, for better or for worse. Definitely for worse. So today I'd like to take a look at 30 of the OSC's most interesting YouTube channels and put them all on a tier list from worst to slightly better. Firstly, I want to just say that I obviously haven't been exposed to every OSC channel ever, alright? The 30 channels that I'll be talking about today are more or less every OSC channel that I've regularly kept up with. So if your favorite one isn't on here and you're really mad about it, why don't you come over here and do something about it? And like I said before, absolutely no showrunners are on this list, except for all of the exceptions. Alright, and with that out of the way, let's get to YouTuber number 1. Oh man, Cheesy Mayo, what a guy. See, what Cheesy Mayo likes to do is take a lot of common, unreasonable complaints in the OSC and make funny videos out of them. These videos are highly exaggerated and very sarcastic, just all in all kind of pointing out how dumb some complainers are in the OSC. And a lot of the time, I agree with him. I too think people are way too negative. Like TPOT 18 was not that bad, guys, holy shit. But then there's this one video he made about post-split. And it's the same type of video he usually makes, a sarcastic joke about people hating post-split. But like, is he trying to say that people aren't allowed to dislike post-split? I'm not entirely sure what point he's trying to make in this one, because I do think that negativity should be allowed as long as it's not completely out of control.
This season wasn't bad or rushed. It was just corporate. The most corporate season of BFDI sucked BFD dry of all its fun and charm and whimsy and all of the other inside-out emotions. This is Jack and Jellify's magnum opus of shit.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty damn close to how I feel about this season. And I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to like post-split. Like, I don't at all understand why someone would ever enjoy this season beyond being good background noise, but I'm not gonna stop you or anything. So I guess I'm just confused, Mr. Mayo. The first Cheesy Mayo video I ever saw was this one where he talks about this Twitter post. Wow, what a way to start off. Jokes aside though, this video is very funny and I like it whenever he references specifically this post in other videos. Because come on, did you read it yet? I'll say this again later, but Cheesy Mayo actually knows that I exist. Take that, John. He mentioned my BFDI ranking in one of his videos, but the fucker didn't even finish it. You call yourself a fan?
Go fuck yourself, and then go die.
He also has this running joke about Giant Snowball being bad, and oh man, I can't wait to talk about him later. But yeah, Cheesy Mayo, I like your videos. B tier. And one more thing. Am I the only one that sees the resemblance to Sammy Classic Sonic Fan? Okay, how do I pronounce this? Amane Day is fairly new to the OS scene. He's only made 2 commentary videos about BFDI, but oh my gosh, they are fantastic. I've said before that I don't really care for character analysis. Most of the time, they're just loosely pulling together inconsequential details and calling it a complex psyche. But these 2 videos by Aman are very different. Because unlike other analyses that only look into the past, these ones look into the future. I want to specifically talk about his underrated characters video. It's over an hour long and I've already watched it like 3 times. In this video, he talks about the characters of Robati, 8-Ball, and Firey Jr. What he does is he takes concrete details from the character's past, not just random throwaway lines or actions, but actual character traits and implied lore and theorizes on where they could go from there. It reminds me a lot of my old FNAF days now that I think about it. And all of these ideas are fantastic. I would absolutely love to see Robati host TPOT 19. That episode didn't actually come out yet as of writing this. Hey, editing me, how'd that episode end up turning out?
That sucked. That sucked, dude.
Do I think that these ideas will ever happen? Well, no, but that's because Jack and Jellify is bad at planning things. What I'm trying to say is Eamon88 makes exceptionally captivating videos, and I'm very excited to see his future content. I'm fucking subscribed to him, not even Cheesy Mayo has that courtesy.
What?
A tier. Can I just say something? I have a lot of respect for Apoy. He's been in this community for a very long time, and throughout all of it, he's been extremely respectful to literally everyone. Even when Rocky, one of his least favorite contestants in TPOT, got eliminated, he still made an effort to not offend anyone. He's made a bunch of character analysis, and while I admit that I personally don't really agree with any of these, it's clear that he really cares about the show. Just take a look at all his random one-off videos. Every time a new episode released, he'd put out a bunch of videos giving his thoughts. He'd update his tier list every time. He's incredibly active in the community, not just his own, but in the OSC in general. Damn it, he's the reason I'm here right now. And who knows how many other small channels Apoy has helped out. He has done all of that for years without ever getting into a pinch of controversy. So what the f*** happened in 2025? It all started when TPOT 16 released and Cloudier got put up for elimination. It's pretty widely known, especially now, that Apoy is a big fan of Pillow, and on a team like Cloudier, Pillow was in big danger of being eliminated. So naturally, Apoy made a little video trying to convince people to vote for her. And for some reason, people freaked the f*** out, saying Apoy was rigging the votes. Namely this guy named Evan Brexy, who made a 23-minute essay breaking down this 4-minute video. Buddy, it is genuinely not this big of a deal. And if you actually took the time to read the comments of the video, you'd find that literally no one was actually convinced from Apoy's speech. Pillow then proceeded to get eliminated by a landslide. I will say though, Apoy, a problem on YouTube, would be a fire video title under different circumstances. See, it was a problem when Adam Katz promised us
5 nickel plushies
to vote for Nickel because he actually works on the show. But in the grand scheme of BFDI, Apoy's audience isn't anywhere near Jack and Jellyfees, and it's not like every person who watched the video immediately went to change their vote. I will say though that Apoy's reasoning in this video is pretty dumb, which he later admitted himself. It's because a large amount of the points in this video aren't this is why you should vote for Pillow, they're this is why you shouldn't vote for other characters. It was formatted more like a process of elimination where Pillow is the only good option from his perspective. And his reasoning to not vote Donut is especially interesting. After a while though, all of that calmed down and Apoy could rest happy once again. Okay, it hasn't even been 3 months yet. Pillow got eliminated. Good, I didn't like her. But Apoy did, and then he made an angry post on Twitter. It was less about being upset that Pillow was gone and more about how disrespectful people were to him. But even then, yeah, this is still pretty rough. I mean, damn, bro really hates Donut. What the f did he ever do to you?
We should just let Donut get eliminated.
Then, Giant Snowball, in reference to Evan's iconic video, made Apoy a crash out on YouTube, as if this is some sort of running joke. But I'll talk about that video later when we get to him. Apoy soon released his response that cleared everything up really well, and since he's taken a break from the internet. Apoy seemed like a genuinely honest guy with a love for BFDI that he wanted to share. No one deserved this fate less. And then he came back 2 months later. Honestly, I thought it'd last a lot longer. Well, if there's one good thing that came out of this, at least you're not just the eggy guy anymore. A for Apoy. Super Funtime is kind of a strange pick for this list because they're not really like the other girls. Super Funtime represents a bygone era of the OSC. See, back in the great BFDI drought of 2018, the community started getting antsy when waiting for BFB 13 to come out. With no new episodes, the few OSC YouTubers at the time were running out of things to make videos about. And that, my friends, is when the BFB but blank videos began to flourish. Probably, I don't like doing research. This type of content is when you take the elimination order of BFB and add some sort of twist to it, like the least votes gets eliminated, or every elimination is a double elimination, that kind of thing. And Super Funtime is still making those videos to this day, alongside predictions and alternate scenarios. I like this channel because it takes me back to a simpler time. A time before the split. A time before the rampant negativity. A time before post-split teardrop. What can I say? I like the channel. B tier. Dublex Squared is a very interesting individual because he's quite possibly the only human over the age of 4 to enjoy BFB 30. This was the guy that beat me to ranking every BFDI episode ever, except my video was 5 hours longer, so eat shit, buddy. I'll admit that it's genuinely a really well put together video, and while I may disagree, to put it lightly, I gotta respect the amount of work put into it, especially since I know firsthand how much it sucks to make a video this long. And again, despite some of his interesting takes, it's clear he truly loves BFDI, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Also, the final line with Flower gives me goosebumps.
I really did win, didn't I?
Wow, that's so powerful. Because
Guys,
in
I'm
the
gonna
end,
fucking lose it. And again, this guy knows me. I feel like I should just stop mentioning that at this point because it's gonna come up a lot more times. So many OSC YouTubers are aware of so many other OSC YouTubers. It's all very interconnected. And by that, I mean that I'm gonna be collecting these people's replies like Infinity Stones. Wait, I forgot. What does comment say again? F tier. So is it Pixel Animations or Pixelmations? Remember when I said that no show creators were allowed on this list? Well, this is our first of like 3 exceptions. The first show that Pixel made, or at least the first one that I know of, was Object Environment, which I believe is a GGG type of show that included a lot of Pixel's friends. It was pretty good, I was in it, and it got cancelled after episode 3. Later on, they released the scraps of episode 4, and I can totally understand why they lost motivation on this one. An entire episode where characters stand around and translate a Portuguese phrase. Definitely not one of the most exciting things to work on. Shortly after, Pixel announced Pixel's Perplexing Playoff, a show that consisted of 100 characters! And then episode 1 released and only one team went up for elimination. And only one of them got eliminated in episode 2. Thankfully, at the end of episode 2, 3 teams got put up for elimination. Thank gosh too. Imagine if a show was 100 episodes long. It was cancelled after episode 3. That reminds me, I don't think a lot of people truly realize how genuinely insane the idea of BFB was before the split. 64 contestants with one being eliminated every episode with a rejoin every 10. If Satomi never did their thing, then BFB 67 would have been a real episode. And if one episode released every month, then it still would have taken nearly 7 years to finish the season. So anyway, that's 2 shows each cancelled after episode 3. But look how far they are into object games. This is something truly special. Pixel making an object show version of Squid Games was definitely just to capitalize off of the somewhat recent trend in the OSC. What can I say? It was a smart move. I've never actually watched the real Squid Games because I don't care, but you know what? I'm sure this is just as good. Unironically, the Fly Me to the Moon scene goes hard. Everyone, go check this channel out. C tier, but only because it technically doesn't count. Known OSC terrorist Giant Snowball has been rampant on the internet for quite a while now, but recently things have gotten pretty out of hand. It started after Apoy's crash out, where Giant Snowball released the video I mentioned earlier. It's not remotely respectful at all, and he's just making fun of Apoy, calling him a man-child and a hypocrite. Hey, back off, buddy. We Apoy fans don't take slander lightly. And some of his points are just flat out wrong. Like, no dude, did you even watch the video? Also, I don't want to come off like I'm white knighting Apoy or anything. This is just a really stupid ass situation where one person is clearly more in the wrong than the other. And also, it's just a little bit funny. And to be fair, it's like, okay, when Apoy first made that post, he seemed very unreasonably upset. But after Apoy made his whole response and everything was kind of cleared up, you'd think that he'd take the video down, right? 93,000 views is quite a lot of money, isn't it? And then like a week later, he made a sequel called the Cloudimations crash out, and now this is like a series or something. And it just makes it seem like Apoy was just another piece of content for the pile and that he doesn't actually care at all. And by the way, he's friends with Cloudimations. That other video was totally just made to give Cloudimations attention. And other than the crash out saga, Giant Snowball is just all around.
And he insulted autistic people. Oh my god, oh my.
That. Oh, and he compared himself to groomers.
What the fuck?
I don't want to sound mean, but Giant Snowball, you might be a bad person. C tier. I don't want to brag, but GD Nacho not only knows who I am, not only says I make bad thumbnails, but also watches my videos. And I just want to say thank you, GD Nacho. It's hard to explain just how awesome it is to see a YouTuber I grew up watching now growing up watching me. Wait, I used to really love his BFB predictions series back when there was hope. And since then, he's made one actual commentary video, and what can I say, it's really good. He says that he'll be coming back to YouTube to make more videos, which is great. I love that video, despite what it reminds me of. Oh yeah, I forgot, he also made a character analysis about Bracelety. And remember what I said earlier? What he does is he takes concrete details from the character's past, Not just random throwaway lines or actions, but actual character traits and implied lore, and theorizes on where they could go from there. GD Nacho for a long time has been one of my all-time favorite OSC YouTubers. I mean, for one, he's not a lazy content farm. That may sound like a low bar to clear, but in the OSC, it's really not. And with all that said, yeah, that really wasn't a good thumbnail, was it? A tier. Okay, I know that this person did bad things, but there's something I really need to say. This design is fucking great. It's so creative and interesting. It's based off a book's asset, but it really makes it its own with the hair and the rip in the cover. See, I really think that's an issue with a lot of OSC YouTubers. Their avatars are just really boring. Just being a slight alteration of another character, or just nonsense. What is that, a spike rock? And I'm gonna pick on Bookskipball real quick just because of the similarities. Design similarities, I mean. Bookskipball didn't groom anyone to my knowledge. But anyway, this design is pretty boring. It's just Book with basketball lines on it. These two designs are both piggybacking off of the same decade-old asset, yet BookNote makes it feel completely fresh and new. Genuinely a really great avatar, and for that, A tier.
What the fuck?
Firey Canon? Yeah, of course he's canon. He's been in every season. I've only ever seen one video from this channel, and it was actually pretty good. But I'm looking at this channel now, and I feel like I'll develop some sort of disease if I click on any of these. If I spend any longer showing thumbnails from this channel, this video is gonna start getting dated. So let's get the fuck out of here before the...
Yearn for the mind. I'm Steve. I'm
yeah,
Steve.
that. E tier. Mationsbomb is a pretty significant member of the OSC that you've probably heard of before. In case you're unfamiliar though, he's the wiener dog guy. Mationsbomb is known for the short animations he makes. Basically, whenever money starts getting tight, Mationsbomb whips out the drawing tablet and gets to buy a new house. I think these animations are always really fun, but somewhat recently, Mationsbomb stepped it up and decided that he would make his own object show. Now, I don't want to sound mean, especially since I think he'll see this, but I don't really like Orbit. Like at all. It's a bad show. As of writing this, only episode 1 is out. So if episode 2 ends up releasing before I finish this video, expect editing me to jump in with my thoughts on that later. Orbit's biggest issue by far is the pacing. Now look, if someone makes an object show and the pacing is too fast, I'm very forgiving. It is extremely easy to make things happen way too fast when writing the episode. Hell, even TPOT episodes have issues with this. Fast pacing is something that occasionally happens and that I do my best to ignore. But something that I have never seen in an object show episode is pacing slower than a fucking snail. The pacing for this episode is agonizingly slow. Like once the game started, I was ready for them to jump into the first challenge. But instead of that, it just goes on and on with the characters standing around and talking. And like, this dialogue doesn't even add anything to the episode, it's just there to be there. So in between the show being established and the challenge being announced, there's like 3 minutes of fucking off that doesn't at all need to be there. And don't just say it's meant to flesh out the characters, because that is what the opening of the video is for. And then other times, it's just hard to understand what's happening.
Chrisati!
Find them yourself, then why did you... Whatever.
I think this here is a perfect encapsulation of what this episode is like. To start off, Toasty randomly runs off while shouting for Croissanti. Now, we as viewers have no reason to believe that Croissanti is anywhere near Toasty in this scene. The last time we saw them, they were deep into the forest. And since there's been no established connection between where Toasty is and where Croissanti is, Toasty running off feels very unclear, forced, and random. Since there's no shot of Croissanti in this scene, it feels less like Toasty has found his friend, and more like his ADHD kicked in and he had to go back to looking. The next time we see either of these characters after this, it's when they're all teleported back to the host, only making the previous scene more confusing since we never saw Toasty find Croissanti. Then, TNT complains that Toasty didn't actually need her help to find Croissanti. This implies that Toasty did in fact see Croissanti, but again, since we didn't actually see the character in this scene, it just makes it all the more confusing. And there are countless scenes like that. One of those on its own would be fine, but after a while it starts to add up and it makes the experience as a whole feel disjointed. Another example, what the hell is going on in this scene? Damn it, this is good. I think another big issue with this episode is just how much filler there is. I could take this episode into a video editor and cut out a good 30% of it and still have it function perfectly as an episode. Not only that, but the filler itself goes on forever. There's this one scene where the entire area explodes for literally no reason, and then there's a whole 30 seconds of static shots of the destroyed area and House standing around. Then once he brings everyone back, there's an entire minute dedicated to this unfunny gag where House is crying and people are yelling at Sticky. The episode literally repeats the same exact joke twice in a row, where House cries, they tell Sticky to apologize, she does, then House cries and they tell Sticky to apologize. And all of that could be cut out without removing anything of importance from the episode. I'm sorry if I sound harsh. That's because I am harsh. This episode does a lot of things I don't like. But I do want to point out that Orbit does actually have some great aspects. Like the whole storybook opening as well as all the lore they established sounds genuinely interesting. And the characters themselves are all great. There's not a bad one in the bunch. Aside from House, who feels like the most generic of the generic overpowered host characters. I'm sorry, man. It just needed a lot more. Like more wiener dog. Orbit is an extremely flawed show, but pushing all of that aside, I genuinely believe that this show can evolve to be something truly great. And hey, it's still a hell of a lot better than Inanimate Insanity. E tier. Imperial Red feels like if you averaged out every single OSC channel in existence into one. Like it is exactly what you think of when you think of an OSC YouTuber. With that said, I love this channel. Aww. I can't really explain why this channel feels so much better than all the ones similar to it. Maybe it's his fun interactions with the community, or maybe the genuine critique and speculation videos in between all the prediction stuff, or maybe it's that he's just not an asshole. Yes, this is really the standard I'm holding people to. Back in the day, I always used to lump together Giant Snowball and Imperial Red in my mind. And in modern day, I know just how much of an insult that is. I'm sorry, Imperial Red, Giant Snowball wishes he was you. Aww. I'm not really sure what his avatar is supposed to be, but I like it. It gets a rare pass. B tier. One of the OSC's lost souls. This guy hasn't made a video in 2 years, and that's really sad because I used to love watching him all the time. It was the first Discord server I ever joined. Godspeed, Golden Sponge. D tier. Who the hell is Gaming Bros Theo? Hey, you better show some fucking respect, buddy. Gaming Bros Theo is an OSC YouTuber who has made various random OSC videos and like a show or something, I don't know. The main thing I want to mention is that he watches my videos and he's always there for me. John is rolling in his grave right now. Something interesting though is that he has a shit ton of alternate accounts. There's Gaming Bros Theo, but then there's the Theo Thomas Gaming Show. And then a while back, there was this one guy that took the BFDI retrospective and re-edited the entire thing, and then I found out like a month later that that was also him. Do I even have any other real subscribers, or is it just 6,000 alternate accounts? S tier. This channel's a lot like Inanimate Insanity in the way that it sucks ass. I genuinely do not believe Cloudimations was this upset from Fries getting eliminated. What I think happened is that he saw how much attention Apoy got when Pillow got out and figured that if he did the same thing, he'd get tons of free publicity. And like I said before, I bet he asked his partner in crime to help him out. The amount of posts and videos he made about the topic is far out of the ordinary. He even compares himself to Apoy in one of his community posts. Clearly, he's trying to draw a comparison so more people start talking about it. Take a look at similar situations. When Eggy got out, Apoy made a couple of videos and then moved on. When Basketball got out, Imperial Red made a couple of posts and once more, moved on with his life. When Fries got out, Cloudimations made countless posts, multiple videos, dozens of tweets, and even got a handful of YouTubers to make videos on it. He was also like harassing Carrie kind of, which is my job, so back off. Now tell me, dear viewer, which of these things is not like the others? You're a lot of things, Cloudimations, but you sure as hell ain't slick. And like I mentioned before, recently Apoy came back from exile. So of course, me and my boys had to remind him who runs things around here. So again, like the rule of 3, Cloudimations just had to throw his hat into the ring. His main issue is that a lot of Apoy's videos are lazy and just reposted BFDI clips. And you know what? That's pretty fair. Apoy, I love you, but even I was a bit put off by an entire unedited clip from TPOT 19. Like, come on, you could have at least added some text or something. Cloudimations' channel description is just here to give you content, and honestly, that describes him perfectly. No personality, no soul, just engagement and content. But then again, I've never watched a video from him, so correct me if I'm wrong. He also openly admitted to being homophobic. Well, why would you do that? Are you stupid? It's okay though, he said he's sorry. F tier. Alright, I'm gonna tread lightly because this guy's in my comment section and I don't want to make him mad. This channel looks like a content farm. This channel looks like a content farm. I mean, come on, every thumbnail has that stupid ass arrow and he makes an everything you miss video with every new episode. And all of them say 99% missed. Like, come on, buddy, what do you want me to say? I didn't actually watch any of them because, I don't know, I'm busy right now. But I think what I'm seeing is what I'd get. I'm sorry, man, but this is more Quibble Cop than Super Funtime. You're on the wrong side of the spectrum. I mean, he even did a collab with Webz Forevz. He knows Webz Forevz? Hey, Trollsy buddy, you know I was just joking around, right? Say, why don't we hang out sometime? Maybe bring some of your friends. S tier.
64 people playing games and talking black gold threatens.
This is the guy that made Modern Objects, a show I used to really like back in the day. Oh. He's dead. I was playing a cool math game in class one day, and then when I beat it, the credits had Ricktoons in them. I started freaking out. I just had to tell my friend that had no idea what I was talking about. C tier. Oh no, guys! It's Leanbeans! I'm gonna start this off by saying that Leanbeans has made some genuinely great videos, one of which I'm even in. Alright, Johnny got me there. On the surface, this looks like a very standard BFDI commentary channel, but a while back he leaked the entire finale to Inanimate Insanity. Now personally, this didn't bother me, considering II's finale is lame as hell. But you know who it did bother? Literally everyone else. So the video got taken down quickly, because obviously, but then he decided to go out of his way and upload the episode again on Discord. And at this point it's just like, okay, he's doing this for attention. But when TPOT 19 was announced to be the next meetup episode, he released this video stating that he won't be leaking it and that he's trying to be better. Oh, that's nice.
Giant Snowball already has 2 videos breaking down the topic.
Holy shit, this really adds to the asshole OSC lore. I didn't know Leanbeans was in this group too. Guys, I genuinely believe that these 3, maybe even more, have some sort of deal worked out. These 2 do something stupid in a big way that gets people talking. Then Giant Snowball makes a video about it and then they all split the cash. That sounds outlandish, but I wouldn't put it past them. These guys are friends after all. They co-created OSC YouTuber Mini Battle. But remember Cloudimations video about Apoy that I mentioned earlier? Yeah, well they're all in it. All 3 of them. It's like they saw Apoy come back and then just had to come back for round 2. I understand making a video calling someone out, but why the f do you need to collab with your friends to do it? And not to mention, who's saying this again? To be honest, I don't think these guys give a single f about Apoy or what he's doing. This is all just another way for these 3 to grab attention and make more money. There's absolutely nothing I could say here to get these guys to stop what they're doing. They don't care about the OSC. They don't care about the creators. All they care about is the money they get from it. And if you're just like me and you want the 3 amigos over here to cut it out, then stop giving them attention. If it's not profitable, then eventually they'll stop doing it. I'm sorry for talking about this for so long, but some things just need to be fucking said. And sometimes, you gotta troll the trolls. But in all seriousness, is it really that hard to just get along? E tier. And if any of you 3 are watching this, what do you think of your placements? Let me know in the comments down below. Isn't it kind of messed up that Hypercrystal is potentially the single biggest OSC YouTuber of all time? Like seriously? This guy? Who made this content? This is the closest the OSC has ever gotten to a massive content farm slop channel. If he was still around today, he'd be making Firey Baby Pomni Roblox videos. Hypercrystal must have been a big fan of BookNote because he said, I want to do that, and then has since been wiped from the face of the OSC. But according to this cheesy Mayo video, he's a fan of Peppa Pig now, and I think that's the real crime. I've never actually watched a Hypercrystal video before, and you know what? I think I'd like to keep it that way. 3 million people are subscribed to Jack and Jellyfy, and 3.6 million have watched the BFDI opposite video. To this day, I'm very proud to be one of the negative 600,000 people to have never seen it. E tier. F for 4. Not too long ago, I wanted to make an object show, but I unceremoniously canceled it after finding out just how much I fucking hate animating. I'm considering still making the show in storyboard or animatic form, but at that point, will anyone even care if it looks like this? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when I was making said show, Bookskippo's asset tutorial was really helpful. As for tier list placement, F for 4. Derpy Doofus makes almost exclusively reactions to BFDI episodes. And can I just say something? I think that we as a society should really start to phase out reaction channels. I mean, they're just lazy as hell, and even if you're adding a lot to the video, there's no possible way you could add enough to make it fair. You're just taking someone else's content and watching it. I totally get why people do it though, because it is such easy money. And I have nothing against the average Joe who's just trying to make an extra buck. But when you've got these reaction titans that are pulling millions of views more than the original videos, I can't help but feel like that's just kind of fucked. And I know, I've done it before too, but each time I've regretted it for various reasons.
That's my fucking location!
Anyway though, there is one video on Derpy Doofus's channel that is actually worth talking about. I'm sorry, but that is just an awful username. He made a video titled Top 10 BFDI Contestants Screwed Over by the Split, and it is immaculate. The way that he delves into each of the characters that he talks about is so infatuating to listen to. He's the only other person on this website that I've seen that has the same level of understanding of this show as I do. I wonder if he's just as humble as you too. I want to sit down with this guy and discuss BFDI like politics. And yeah, sure, bring Amen in too. He talks about Saw for a minute and a half, and I think that's the most non-me attention she's ever gotten since BFB 13. I really don't get why he doesn't do more of these. He's got a real talent for it, and the video got way more views than any of his reactions. I would love to see more videos like this from him. Derpy Doofus, if you're watching this, please, I am begging you, change your fucking username D tier. I think I speak for all of us when I say, what the fuck? Cade Malane. Cade Malane! Are you serious? You want me to rank Cade Malane? Cade Malane is a man which no words can describe. Cade Malane is an enigma of a human soul on this planet. Cade Malane is Z tier. Wait, who? Oh, okay, the Aura guy. Yeah, those videos are pretty funny. I don't know what else to say. B tier. Odyssey Ten is the guy that made the BFDI iceberg video that got like 1 billion views. I think just about every BFDI fan ever has seen it at this point. I myself distinctly remember having it playing in the background while I played Minecraft. Stay tuned for the tour of my world, I'll probably get around to it someday. This guy got 1 million views ranking 77 BFDI characters. Meanwhile, I rank 78, plus review every episode in this series and only get 100,000 and some change. GD Nacho wasn't kidding. Does anyone want to remake this thumbnail for me? I'm sick of this guy being me but better. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm gonna fucking skin you alive. E tier.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now.
Sorry, I just wanted to remind that guy in case he was watching. I've got the uncensored version of this screenshot right here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, I'll give him B tier. Okay, I feel like I do need to be completely serious here. This really isn't some fun bit, this is a genuine issue. There is absolutely no situation where someone should feel the need to do this. This screenshot existing is genuinely terrible. Just like inanimate insanity. Back before I had respect for myself, I used to love watching this channel called King of Derps. The channel was mainly viewer voting, which I really enjoyed. But one day, the king decided to make an object show. It was called Battle for Tree, and you know what? I thought it was pretty good. The show consisted of, I believe, 10 or 12 contestants that were all variants of tree. One of which being the spruce tree that was later seen in BFDI Mini Natural. The prize for the show was to marry regular tree, which was funny because one of the contestants was lesbian tree, and you know what, I don't think bro thought that out very well. Unfortunately though, episode 6's script was leaked by one of the voice actors, and after that episode was posted, the show was silently cancelled. However, I did actually enjoy what we ended up getting, and I think I'd like to go rewatch the show right now. Oh, what happened here? I can be better. I will be better. Aw, no. Did he like kids too? Yep, that's right. King of Derp's entire channel was completely wiped. And we have no idea why. King of Derps was a fairly small channel, only amassing a measly 12,000 subscribers, and their content wasn't anything super noteworthy, meaning that absolutely no one ever felt like keeping tabs on this guy. I tried everything I could to find out why King of Derps did this, but I found nothing. Not even the wiki knows. Then I did something crazy. I went to the images tab. In this tab, I found a string of posts on the BFDI wiki. These posts hold multiple videos regarding King of Derps, all of which have since been removed from YouTube. All that's left is thumbnails and subtitles. King of Derps is bullying me, the most toxic OSC channel. Exposing Teal Balloony, oh wow! Teal Balloony is Giant Snowball, by the way. You have it here first, folks. King of Derps deleted his channel due to a controversy regarding bullying little kids. D tier. But wait, these comments are from 2021, and the King of Derps wiki says that he didn't wipe his channel until 2024. There's no way that something like this has been going on for 3 years, right? Then I saw it. The title of the post. Satire. Yup, this whole thing was a joke. Further examination of the thumbnails confirms that. But yeah, Giant Snowball was also wrapped up in this somehow. You just can't escape from this guy, can you? The satire post contains this image, and its validity or meaning is a mystery to me, but it's here, I guess. Why did I even do all this? Nothing I said here even matters. Editing me totally cut out 2 paragraphs of me talking about these posts more, didn't he? You bet, buddy. Well, King of Derps, wherever you may be, you have my respect. Unless you did something bad, then I'll have to take that back.
Come away downtown, walking fast, face is best, and I'm homebound.
Yeah, of course I had to put Webz Forevz on here. I mean, what can I even say? Webz Forevz is just legendary. He made If Mr. Beast was in TPOT, that's really all I need to say. He works for TPOT as a matter of fact, and has animated some of the most goated scenes in the show's history. He made a tutorial on that, and it's unironically great. When I first started animating, this video was the very first thing I went to, and it was all I needed. It's super helpful. I've expressed how big of a fan I am of the man himself, but I've yet to actually take a look at his channel for a video. I let Flower control my life for 24 hours? No, don't do it, Webz, she's gonna crush you! Oh shit, he made a video about brain rot. Dude, that's just like the other guy. Alright, I'll make an exception for you, Webz. Let's take a look at this one.
Lollipop is like a beautiful butch lesbian, ready to save the day for all the weak gay people.
Webz, what the fuck are you talking about? In terms of his object show, Excellent Entities, I've never actually seen it. I've heard bad things about it though. That's why I've never watched it. I can't let anything taint my perspective of him. Webz Forevz is probably most well known for having the voice of an angel though. He iconically voices Seven in the Jack and Jill Few subscriber specials, and what can I say, he does an amazing job. Even better though when he sings in the Counting on Christmas song. I don't even know why they had the other numbers sing. This is like some nuclear bomb versus coughing baby shit. But did you know that he actually made that song? He was also the Just Not voice in TPOT 6. He was countless side characters in BFB and TPOT. He tied his shoes that one time. And do I even need to play it? Come on, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, do it, man.
Alright, if you insist.
64 people playing games and talking black, all threatens all of them to a blue hair.
Brings a tear to my eye. Is there really any other option? S tier. S tier? I hear you yell in disbelief. How could Webz Forevz possibly deserve S tier? He worked with Linkybox. He had allegations against hating straight people. He bragged about how much money he makes. And didn't he intentionally make a content farm that he continues to run to this day? Yep, that channel's S tier too. And that brings us to our 30th and final channel, Worst Trends. Oh wait, there's been a mistake. This is a tier list of OSC YouTubers, and Worst Trends isn't an OSC YouTuber anymore. Z tier by default. It's actually kind of sad. I ended up having a short conversation with the guy, and he said something like he's tired of all his real passion projects failing due to how many of his viewers only want the OSC stuff, a topic of which he's increasingly lost interest in. Well, first of all, cry about it, but second of all, yeah, that sure does suck, doesn't it? Worst Trends is... Okay, I'm done with the third person thing. I am officially leaving the OSC, and this is the very last time anything BFDI related will ever appear on this channel. I know, this is a big change, but I want to leave you guys with one last thought. Oh, I forgot Chillager. And if any of the YouTubers I talked about in this video are mad at me and want to punish me for my crimes against the OSC,
what are you gonna do about it?
You can't fire me because I quit!